Lightoverdarkness33. I hope you're having a really great Veterans Day. And I'd like to say thank you for your service to all the veterans, including my husband. Anyway, I really am happy to come to you guys today. I personally have been having a rough day, and I had to speak to my life coach about it because it just was off. My day was just off. And I spoke to him about it, and it encouraged me to go back into some of my videos, which encouraged me. So today's topic is going to be a prophetic word. A prophetic word. It's been a while since we've talked about prophetic things, and so it came to me today to do so. What I did today was I went back into my own timeline of my life. I went back into my life, and I thought back about different things that happened to me and what led me to act the way that I have acted through the years, which was kind of aloof, standoffish, unable to trust. And it came to me about something that happened to me. I had been staying with my godmother, and my mom, she got a big house, and she wanted me to come live with her. Well, it was traumatic for me because all the friends I knew at that time, and the place where I was most comfortable with was my godmother. So it was traumatic for me. I went with her, and I didn't know anybody. I wasn't friendly to anybody, and I'm sorry to any of you that watch, and I wasn't friendly to you because I have classmates who watch sometimes, and it was just hard for me. And I spoke to one of my classmates who I knew from that time when I lived with my godmother, and she said, Paula, she said, oops, I said my name. Paula. She said, why did you just leave like that? You didn't say where you were going. You didn't give me your phone number. You didn't do anything. And I said, I didn't? She said, no. I said, wow, that's what happened. That's why I had a breakthrough with that, because it was like I couldn't understand why I felt the way I did, why I never felt like I was at home when I moved in that house, why I always felt kind of abandoned, sort of, because I guess I was. I was taken out of where I lived all my life for 5-6 years, and boom, just gone. Now, if you guys hear any noise, this is a kind of noisy place sometimes because we have children and lots of people walking through, so please just ignore the noise and don't let it distract you from the word. I'm going to continue. So, that helped me out a lot. I was resorted to tears, and I ended up praying today, and I was asking God, I said, God, what can I do about this? And he let me know. He said, you know what? You have done the work. You've been led to find out why. When you found out your why, that enabled you to open your mind up to a whole lot of other things. And that enabled you to find out who you really were. I've always been like a little princess because I was an only child. And I didn't really dress like the other children. I couldn't play in the dirt. I couldn't do any of that. I was raised like a little lady. And I've always been like that. So my word for you guys today is this. whoever you are, whatever you're trying to be, it's in your past. Because when you came here, when you initially came to this earth, you were already an angel. You were already the person you were supposed to be. There was nothing for you to change. If you never went to school a day in your life, you still would have been that angel. You still would have had the abilities that God gave you. God gives each of us an ability to do what we need to do in order to survive, in order to be great. We're sent down here to be great and to assist others to be great. So that's what I'm doing with my channel. I'm trying to be great, and I want you to be a better you and be great as well. God wants you to know that there's nothing that you cannot do that's not already in you. If it's in you, then you can do that. But first of all, you have to go back and do your homework. And your homework details you find out who you really are, not who you went to school to be, not who your parents grew you up to be, but who you really are. And when you find out who you really are, you can build upon that. And you can continue to expand. Expand your life by utilizing the skills that are already within you. Some of you have gone into a wrong path based upon things that have happened in your life. Someone's out there who may have been abused. And so that changed your whole trajectory of your life. It made you bitter. It made you mean. It made you not trust. It made you feel as if nobody loved you. And I'm here today to tell you that God loves you. And that those of us that are also angels down here working, we love you. And we want you to be your best you. Do not let what happened to your body affect your mind and your soul. You're still the same soul, you're still the same mind, and your body is going to have to come in line with those things. Let those things that be not as though they were. I want you to take these words and know that you can be anything that you wanted to be in the beginning. If you liked blocks and you were an engineer, like my guy's grandson, you can be that engineer. If you like painting and you love to draw, be an artist. Don't let anybody, and I mean anybody, stop you from being the you that you're supposed to be. Somebody may have wanted to be an actress, and somebody else might have studied their growth by saying, sit down somewhere and stop acting stupid. That is cursing somebody's destiny. Don't let anybody curse your destiny. Whatever your destiny is, I want you to walk in those footsteps. God gave you the high heels or the Oxford shoes to walk in it. Walk in those footsteps. Don't let anybody tone your shine down. Don't let anybody stop you from standing in the rain and being the sunshine. Don't let anybody stop you from your God-given talents. God knows what He wants for you to have. Somebody out there is looking for a home. I want you to know God has that home for you. But you're going to have to do some things. You're going to have to do some things. And you know what those things are? You're going to have to come in line with the energy of that home. I did it. I know what I had to do. You have to go to that home. Take you a walk through that home. Feel that home. And listen and hear what God has to say for you for that home. Because if that home is meant to be yours, it doesn't matter whether it's 3 years, it doesn't matter whether it's 10 years, you're going to get that home. Because guess what? Once you walked into that home, your spirit came in that home. When your spirit came in that home and felt all right about that home, guess what? It became yours. So then you begin to think about that home. So then you begin to feel that home every time you think about it. I tell you what, take it one step forward. While you're waiting for God to open the door, Get things that you want to put in the home. That's what I did. I got a few things that God wanted me to put in my home. Now, when my home comes forth, I'm going to let you know. I'm going to let you know God has blessed me. Because it's going to happen. And it has nothing to do with our wants. When we come down here to this earth, we have already in our soul, our souls of soul, your uttermost self, what we're supposed to have in order to have the life that we were sent here to have. Some people have used materialistic ways to make that happen. I'm not saying there's something wrong with that, but I'm saying that if you do it God's way, you'll have what He wanted you to have, not what you wanted to have. You'll have what He wanted you to have. And what He wants you to have is better than anything that you could think of to want. Now, also I have to say this. Someone is seeking a child. They want to have a child, and they've been having trouble. Now, there's a reason for this. And I'm feeling that it's emotional. It's emotional. Something is leading you to have this child that's happened emotionally to you. You feel that having this child is going to help you to overcome those feelings, those emotions that you have. But I want you to know that if you can't have your own children, which you hear here now, children in the hallway, if you can't have your own children, then guess what? Love on someone else's, just like it was yours. There's such a thing, it's called a godmother. Be a godmother to another child that needs you. You can still be used as a mother, even though you didn't actually give forth a child. But I don't want you to forget about one thing. I don't want you to forget about in the Bible where the lady, she didn't have a child, she was barren. And the angel came, Gabriel, came to her and told her, you will have a child. I believe her name is Martha. You will have a child. And she had a child. Nobody understood, nobody could believe it. Even the father of the child, her husband, couldn't believe it. But when God says yes, it's a yes. When God says no, it's a no. So be led by God. Don't be led by man. Be a mother in any way that you can. There are tons of children out there who need somebody like you. Utilize your mothering skills for them. Utilize the gift that God gave you for them. Be a blessing to another child that needs the help. Now let's see what else God has for me to give you today. I heard the word love. Love. I want you to know that I love you. But I know that you're seeking a deeper love. I know that you're wanting love from a way that you never had before. And sometimes it's young women as young men. We tend to reach out to others when we don't get love that we sought when we were younger. Or it wasn't enough love. Or we just want something different. I want you to know that the first love you should ever feel is for yourself. Love yourself. Love yourself from your hair down to your toenails. Love everything about you. Don't seek to change anything that God made you to be. Be that He made and enjoy that. I know a lot of people are doing different things to make themselves look better, but I want you to know, sweethearts, you came here beautiful. You came here handsome. You came here as a woman and a man that God created. I want you to utilize your uniqueness as a way to love on yourself and to teach others to love themselves. Never give up on yourself. You're beautiful inside and out. That's why I end every session with I love you. And I really do. Because in my mind's eye, I can see how beautiful you are. In my mind's eye, I can see how handsome you are. There's nothing that you cannot do that you want to do. I was sitting there today and I was thinking, I said, God, what is my purpose? And I talked it over with my sensei. Hey, Trinius. And he told me you need to think about what your purpose is. So I began to meditate. And as I meditated, it came to me. I've always had an ear for God. I've always had the ability to hear him and to differentiate between his voice, my voice, and the enemy's voice. I knew when it was God speaking, and I knew when it was the enemy speaking. That doesn't mean that I always obeyed God and ignored the enemy. Sometimes I ignored God and did what the enemy wanted me to, and then I suffered behind it. But in the end, God won. So I have an ear for God. I have a tongue for people, which means I speak those things that be not as though they were. So I'm going to tell you without a shadow of a doubt that you can make it. You can be the individual that you came here to be. You know what your job is. If you don't, I advise you to meditate. Try 534 megahertz MHZ or 853. Use those and they will open up your mind to what you're supposed to be doing down here. Because you came here for a job. You didn't come down here to work for nobody else. I want to explain something to you. I worked 35 years until I had my stroke. I want you to know that in those 35 years that God blessed me to be able to provide for my family, but that wasn't what I came down here to do. What I came down here to do was trying to find a better spot. Excuse me. What I came down here to do was to be a prophetic angel. And I found out that was my job because I could hear God and other people couldn't hear what I was hearing, and I didn't want them to hear what I was hearing because I didn't want them to think I was cuckoo. So I just kept it to myself. But I did whatever God told me to do. And in so doing, people would ask me, well, how did you know how to do this? You're too young to know how to do this. And I would say, well, God told me. And they would say, how you know God told you? Now, with my mother being a minister, it was easy for me to say God told me. So, because they knew that God speaks. And that God has no respect to person. He'll speak to the smallest and to the largest. So, when I said God told me, they stopped and they listened. Well, what else did God tell you? Because they wanted to be blessed. So God allowed me to be that prophet at a young age. Now, in order for you to find out what your gift is, you have to get on the God frequency. Bet you never heard that before. God frequency. Now what that is it's a frequency that you can hear God's voice. It's a frequency for God's voice. Just like the music you hear on the radio. That I don't mean to be mean, but there's certain music you can listen to that'll make you want to go do something wrong. There's certain music you can listen to that will make you want to go do something right. So, the God frequency is very high. It's a very high note. I want you to look it up on YouTube, on YouTube. God frequency music. It may be binary beats. It may be just the music itself. It may be guided. It depends on you what you want to hear. So, look that up. God frequency. Meditation. Put meditation behind it. Now, when you start listening to this music, it will lift your mind up high enough so you can be away from this world as far as in your spiritual eye and your mind. And also, remember I told you about breathing. I looked at the video that I had posted before, and I talked to you guys about breathing. I told you to take 20 breaths and then listen. That will help you as well. Breathing. You can't breathe and worry. You can't breathe and be upset. That's why back in the day they used to tell you, if you're upset, take a deep breath. Why? Because when you breathe, you calm down. So watch the meditation videos and breathe. Let it out. Let it out. Let it out. That is the way you let that spirit that's in you that's angry come out. That is the way that you can get to the point where you can hear God's voice. It's a small, quiet voice, unlike no other. And it tells you what to do and what not to do. But you have to be on that frequency, and you have to be in a mindset to hear. If you don't want to hear or you're scared, you're not going to hear it. Scared man can't win. And we want to win. Because we're God's children. We're God's angels. We're his light workers. And we're here to fight the good fight that's going to allow us to receive all the things that we wanted before we even got here. Now you just think about it. If you came from a palace and you had servants and you had gold dishes and you had fine Bentleys and Porsches and all these other cars, these large, expensive cars, Tesla, all of these things. And then you're moved from your family, the ones you love, the home you were born in, into a place where it's desolate. It's famine in the land. Like Joseph, yeah. Famine in the land. You know, you have to try to ask people to give you food. You have to ask people to give you clothes. You know, just poor people, just acting poor. That's a vast contrast from where you were born. In heaven, in the universe, we had everything we could possibly want. And then we came here. A place where you have to work to get anything. Instead of just saying, God, I need. That's what they teach you. They teach you that if you ask God, you have to wait and wait and wait and wait. God is an on-time God. And for those of you that have been waiting on God to do something for you, I want you to know he's going to do that thing. He's going to do just what he said he was going to do. Don't you worry about it. It's not that he doesn't hear you. It's your faith. You have to get your faith up. You have to be of one mind set. Get your mind together. When you get your mind together, then I tell you something. There's nothing that you cannot do when you get your mind together. There's nothing that you cannot do. I don't know why I'm seeing red right now in my mind's eye, but I'm seeing red fabric, a soft fabric. Somebody is doing something with this red fabric, making some type of clothing. I want you to know that outfit that you have in mind that you want to have made or that you're making, that outfit is going to be very popular. You might want to sell it. Because that's part of your gift, that you can create clothes. So create and make your own fortune. That's what we're supposed to be doing. Creating. What have you created? A mess? What have you created? Anything? Have you created anything nobody knows? That's what the rich and famous do. They create. They create. And I tell you something else. It doesn't matter if somebody else has already created it, because yours is going to be different anyway, because we're all different. What I like, you may not like. What you like, I may not like. What I cook, you may cook the same thing, but both of them taste different. So be your authentic self. Create. Find out what you're supposed to be putting into this world. Find out what you are supposed to be doing. What is your gift? How can you live life more abundantly without working like a dog for it? Without going to school for 40 years for it? Huh? Those things are nice achievement. Great. But you know what? You'll be more blessed if you would do what God gave you to do. Utilize your gift. He may want you to make a school for the gifted. He may want you to create a home for mothers, assisted living. You never know what God has in mind. Because you think about it. He's God. He can tell you anything to do that will increase you all the more. Because He wants the best of you. And so do I. So I'm asking God to bless you. Bless your children. Bless your children's children. And that every step you take be a great step for you and those you love. There's nothing that you cannot do. So I want you to breathe, to meditate, and to follow God's voice. Now, if you have anything that happens to you that you've heard within this video, I want you to be a testimony to me. Put it in the comments. Send an email. Email is lightoverdarkness33 @gmail.com. I'll get it and I'll respond to you. And if you have any questions, or if you have something that you've been praying for and you need an answer about, email me and I'll make a video about it to let you know what I thought. Okay? So, we're going to end this one, I think, in a few minutes. Let's go to 12, not 12 more minutes, just a little while longer. Because I want to talk to you one last thing, one more time, about this meditation. I want you to do this one as well. I told you about the breathing. I want you to close your eyes and lift your eyes up towards your forehead, as if you're looking at your eyebrows with your eyelids closed. And as you're doing this, I want you to breathe. Do the breathing exercises. So you're closing your eyes. You're lifting your eyes up towards your eyebrows. And you're breathing. Do that 20 times. And then I want you to be quiet. Don't breathe anymore. Deep breathing, no more deep breathing. Just relax with your eyes up like that. And at that point, lower your head and look up towards your eyebrows. This is in reverence to God. You're looking for the answer from up above. So you're raising your eyebrows and you're looking up with your eyes. And I dare you to listen, because I know you'll hear from God. So I love you, everybody. I love you with my mind, with my soul, and with everything inside of me, all of my being. I hope you have a wonderful day. I hope God blesses you more today than yesterday, more tomorrow than today. Have a great day, and be sure to email me with your information. Be sure to subscribe to my channel. Be sure to like the video, and be sure to subscribe to the video so that you can be, and tap the button, the bell. If you tap that bell, guess what? Every time I place a video on YouTube, you'll be notified, and you won't miss. You won't miss out on what God has for you. This is Lightoverdarkness33. Loving you and hope you're loving me. Have a great day. Bye.